done a great job.
Welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6.
We are just having a great time here in Auburn, Alabama. The party is not over yet.
Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Brady Huneycutt.
And I'm Simmons. Thank you for joining us.
After losing over the weekend to 2-5 Kentucky at home, Auburn has fired head coach Hugh Freeze. Freeze was in his third year at Auburn and had coached the Tigers to a 4-5 record this year after many expected Auburn to take a leap forward this year.
And there's times I think he probably would be if
Duncan
we could hold
is
up
back
just
as a head coach for the first time since 2018 when he was let go from Maryland. He'll have an opportunity to pick up a top 15 road SEC victory this Saturday when the Tigers travel up to Nashville to play Vanderbilt.
Helping away for Americans who rely on food stamp benefits. The Trump administration on Monday said it will provide partial SNAP benefits for November amid the government shutdown. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said it will tap $4.65 billion from its contingency fund. That would cover 50% of current allotments for eligible households. Of note, however, recipients will not see the payments immediately. In court papers filed Monday, the administration said it decided against pulling money from other sources that would provide full SNAP benefits for November. For those locally struggling with food insecurity, Beat Bama Food Drive is a great resource to navigate the lockdown. Eagle Eye's Jack Sublett spoke with BBFD's Miller Murray about ways to contribute locally.
What kind of operations do you guys do to go about beating food insecurity?
Yeah, so a couple things that we really want everyone to get to be a part of, even if you're not on BBFD committee. You can donate monetarily. We have a link at aub.ie/BBFD. It's pretty easy to remember. You can donate money there, but we also have barrels all across campus and the Auburn community. You've probably seen a couple where you can donate non-perishable food items. And then one thing that I am super excited about is our 5K, which is taking place on November 2nd, and anyone can participate in that. And that's a great way to get involved.
What kind of operations do you guys do to go about
people in the
beating
United
food?
States will need a blood transfusion, which is why blood drives are essential. Eagle Eye's Johnny Kenninger attended the Auburn University Hearts Club blood drive and tells us more.
The Auburn University Heart Club partnered with LifeSouth, a nonprofit community blood bank, to help give Auburn students the opportunity to donate blood, which will help those in our community. So I'm in the Melton Student Center to tell you more.
It's true. In room 2225 of the Melton Student Center, students were able to register with LifeSouth, a nonprofit blood bank operational in more than 150 hospitals in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee. After a short interview, students were able to give life in the form of blood. The phlebotomist ensures proper blood flow and was able to draw blood out of the arm following a quick iodine swab to ensure proper sterilization. You can especially tell her mastery since she was able to get this particular student's veins to pop like a bodybuilder's and was able to get that valuable blood flowing quickly and efficiently. From here, the blood will be separated into platelets and red blood cells and will be processed and shipped into one of the several hospitals around Auburn. Phlebotomist Eli Burns spoke on how the blood stays local to help the community.
And every donation that people make, it goes straight to our local hospital, and we save lives. So we want to save lives every day, And if you could just donate, you could save somebody's life today.
And if all the good you were doing wasn't enough, you could add on with getting a free t-shirt with your donation.
Every drop of blood helps the community. For Eagle Eye News at 6, I'm Johnny Kenninger.
To learn more about the Auburn University Heart Club, you can check out their social media page or visit their page on AU Involve.
Last month was Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and with a recent phishing scam sent to hundreds of Auburn students, it's important to know how to identify and report scams to protect yourself and others. The phishing attempt was sent by email to Auburn student Sophia Weber in early October. The subject read, "Auburn IT support action required," and claimed her Auburn account would be terminated. The attached QR code linked to a form where Weber entered sensitive information, such as her password and student ID number. Her account was compromised and used to send a similar email to hundreds of other Auburn students. Auburn Information Technologies quickly responded by temporarily shutting down her account. We spoke with cybersecurity engineer Jim Weber about phishing scams and ways Auburn students can protect themselves from social engineering threats.
Phishing scams are a big thing everywhere, not just at Auburn, but all higher ed institutions, across businesses, everywhere. It affects everyone. Most phishing scams are blocked. We have a lot of processes and tools that protect everyone. So 90+% are blocked from even getting to your inbox, but some things still get through. And when they get through, that's where like everybody can help. There are things you can do to recognize phishing. There are three things I say, right? So if you get a message, is it unexpected, right? You're not expecting this message, that's a red flag. And if it's trying to make you feel something, like some sort of emotion, anxiety, or fear, or surprise, or shock, I mean, we've all seen scams like, hey, you got a tax bill, or you've got, one I'm seeing a lot lately is toll road. You missed a toll payment and you have a bill to pay for that. So it's trying to give you some anxiety about it to get you to respond to it. And then the third thing I tell people to look for is it asking you to do something? And if you see something like that, report it as phishing, don't fall for it. And if you recognize it and report it, you can help everybody else at Auburn. We have a fish tank. There's a short link for it. It's aub.ie/fish tank, and that's spelled PHISH. And on that, we post examples of phishing attempts and scams that come to Auburn people. So you can see like what's actually happening, what's being sent out there. Other resources, we have a cybersecurity page, and it has information about what you can do if you fall for scams, if somebody steals your data, if there's a data breach. So a lot of instances that can happen to you, we have resources out there that help you navigate that. And that's on our cybersecurity main page. It's aub.ie/cybersecurity. We will notify everybody who got affected by it. If we see that they clicked on a link or they got the email and stuff, they will get notified. This was a phishing attempt. If you followed the link or you clicked on anything or gave up your credentials, go ahead and change your password, and then we'll monitor for that. Phishing scams are a big.
Update from Eagle Eye's Allison Thomas. You're watching Eagle Eye.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Allison Thomas, and this is our weather outlook for this week on the plains. After a cloudy past week, this week is expected to be fairly sunny. Tomorrow, we expect there to be a high of 72 and a low of 44. On Wednesday, expect a high of 74 and a low of 45. On Thursday, there will be a high of 76 and a low of 47. And finally, on Friday, there will be a high of 74 and a low of 50. Friday evening, we expect some light rainfall and cloudy skies. On Saturday, Friday's trends continue with a high of 75 and a low of 57. There will be some rainfall early that morning as well, and you can expect a relaxing Sunday with sunny skies and a high of 74. It's time to soak up all that sun because it seems to be the last week of the year with nice weather. That's all for your weather outlook for this week. When we come back, you'll get your national news update back at the desk. From Eagle Eye News at 6, I'm Allison Thomas. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. The FBI says it thwarted a potential terrorist attack that may have been planned for Halloween weekend. Two law enforcement sources described the reported plot as ISIS-inspired and said it unfolded in online chat rooms. Cheryl Hubbard has more on the latest details.
FBI Director Kash Patel revealed the alleged plot and arrest of multiple suspects in a social media post Friday morning. He said, quote, "This morning, the FBI thwarted a potential terrorist attack and arrested multiple subjects in Michigan who were allegedly plotting a violent attack over Halloween weekend."
What happened here was they had this group under surveillance for months. This week, a couple of things ticked up. Number one, they went to a shooting range with rifles. They fired a lot of ammunition.
The FBI's Detroit field office confirmed that FBI agents in Michigan were present this morning in the cities of Dearborn and Inkster, conducting law enforcement activities. Authorities said the people involved in the chat being monitored by the FBI went to a shooting range with AK-47s, practiced high-speed reloads, and made a reference to, quote, Pumpkin Day, which could mean Halloween. Agents became concerned that a plot might be imminent, according to Miller.
The FBI had high-level discussions about, we have this group under surveillance. We have them under electronic surveillance, physical surveillance. We're listening to their devices and following their texts.
2 chat room members have been arrested. 3 others are being questioned. Sources say an undercover FBI agent gained access to these chat rooms where members were in the early stages of discussion.
The decision was made to move in, make arrests, and see where the pieces fell.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
FBI spokesperson Jordan Hall told CNN that there is no current threat to public safety. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer thanked the FBI and Michigan State Police for their quick work in breaking up the alleged plot.
A top drug regulator at the Food and Drug Administration has stepped down amid controversy. Officials said George Tidmarsh submitted his resignation over the weekend after being placed on administrative leave on Friday. A spokeswoman for the Department of Health and Human Services said it was due to, quote, serious concerns about Tidmarsh's personal conduct. Tidmarsh allegedly posted a critical comment about a new drug made by Canadian pharmaceutical company. According to the since deleted post, Tidmarsh said the new drug had, quote, significant toxicity. The company filed a lawsuit Sunday accusing Tidmarsh of making false statements and soliciting a bribe. Tidmarsh was named as the FDA's director of the Center for Drug Evaluation and Research in July.
Clocks have just fallen back 1 hour, marking the end of daylight savings time as most states in the U.S. return to standard time. CNN's Jake Tapper explains the history of daylight saving time and why it's likely to continue for most Americans for years to come.
Extra hours sleep now that we're back to standard time and off daylight saving time. There are people in Congress who want permanent daylight saving time. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama said he tried to get President Trump to do it by executive order, but President Trump said the polling was just too divided. It is a controversial issue. You know, daylight saving time started during World War I. There was this huge move to petition the government to have saving daylight by springing the clocks forward. That's why daylight saving time is called what it's called, and that's why it's not daylight savings time, it's daylight saving. Anyway, the farmers hated it, so after World War I was over, daylight saving time was over. They brought it back for World War II, again to save energy. During the energy crisis of the early 70s, this country, Congress, passed a 2-year experiment to only be on daylight saving time. That was in the fall of 1973. But over the next few weeks, with darker early morning hours, there were a number of traffic accidents and even fatalities involving kids on their way to school with it darker than normal because we were on daylight saving time during the fall and winter. Florida panicked. 8 kids died in early morning accidents since daylight saving time became permanent in 1973. In early 1974, the governor, Ruben Askew, and the legislature got rid of daylight saving time. It was just not worth it for the risk to kids, they said. Polls plummeted. There was huge support for permanent daylight saving time in the fall of 1973. But by spring of 1974, that number was down significantly. And it was repealed by October 1974. It is hugely controversial. And people are very divided on it, depending on where they live. In any case, it looks like this is here to stay, at least for the short term. And that's why we keep going back and forth, because this country is not unanimous on daylight saving time in the fall and winter months.
Notably, in 2022, Alabama gubernatorial candidate Tommy Tuberville introduced legislation looking to do away with daylight saving time. The bill passed the Senate but did not pass in the House. When we return, we've got Eye on the Hill with Tessa Allen. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Eye on the Hill. I'm Tessa Allen, here to give you the latest political updates. Turning Point USA Tour is making a stop here at Auburn University. Turning Point is a nonprofit organization founded by Charlie Kirk and aims to educate and train students to promote limited government, fiscal economic responsibility, and principles of freedom. Founder of Turning Point, Charlie Kirk, was assassinated on September 10th. But the organization continues the tour to honor Charlie's legacy in fighting to save America. Turning Point USA will be coming to Auburn this Wednesday, November 5th, with notable speakers like Eric Trump, Laura Trump, Senator Tommy Tuberville, and Benny Johnson. Students can get free tickets by going to turningpointusa.com. On Tuesday, general elections will be held around the country, specifically in states like New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. But the mayor's race in New York City is one of the key contests. Democratic primary winner Zohran Mamdani is facing off against former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's running as an independent, and Republican Curtis Sliwa. Some national Democrats are unsure about Mamdani as a self-described Democratic socialist. While House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries endorsed Mamdani almost literally at the last minute, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer hasn't said who he supports. Many citizens are paying close attention to this election to calculate how the Democratic Party could potentially do in the midterm elections. On Wednesday, the Trump administration will head to the Supreme Court to face small businesses and states who hold President Trump's tariffs illegal and unconstitutional. This tariff would apply globally to many nations, but opponents are arguing that the president does not have the power to put tariffs, and only Congress can establish the taxes under the Constitution. Here's President Trump with more on his thoughts about the court case.
I think it's the most important decision, one of the most important decisions in the history of our country. Because without tariffs, without our being able to use tariffs freely, openly, and in every way, we would suffer tremendously from a national security standpoint. The national security of our country is at stake. It's the biggest, I think it's one of the biggest decisions in the history of the Supreme Court.
Trump argues these tariffs are important for the American people, but some citizens are arguing that the tariffs will hinder the economy and undo constitutional order. And that is all I have for you tonight. When we come back, you'll get an update from Brady and Ella Grace. I'm Tessa Allen for Eye on the Hill, and you're watching Eagle Eye News at 6. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. You won't find Disney's channels on YouTube TV, at least until the two can come to an agreement. Disney's channels were removed from YouTube's pay TV platform after the two media giants failed to reach a new carriage agreement before Thursday's midnight deadline. The blackout leaves subscribers unable to watch content from Disney networks, including ESPN, ABC, Disney Channel, FX, National Geographic, and Freeform. The two companies remain in talks, although neither indicated when customers can expect programming to resume. The blackout should come as little surprise to YouTube TV subscribers, who for the last week have seen announcements warning of a stalemate. Since last Thursday, Disney has run public messages notifying YouTube TV customers of a possible blackout.
Chick-fil-A has a new beverage-centered restaurant named Daybright that is now open in Georgia. The new chain features handcrafted coffees, iced teas, lemonades, smoothies, cold-pressed juices, and some food like donuts and breakfast sandwiches, but no Chick-fil-A menu items. Daybright says it, quote, brings together everything customers love about their favorite neighborhood coffee shop, breakfast spot, juice bar, or smoothie stop, end quote. And in case you were wondering, yes, Daybright will be closed on Sundays too, just like Chick-fil-A.
A Rhode Island woman has come up with a solution for busy pet owners who need a hand getting their dogs and cats to the vet or anywhere else. Sam Reed shows us the rideshare service that's meant exclusively for pets.
For Leslie DeMana of Smithfield, her new bus business is everything she's ever dreamed of.
I thought that's got to be the best job ever.
And more.
Literally within a month, I had my business all registered. I had the van purchased.
On the outside, the big, beautiful bus is quite eye-catching with pictures of pooches personal to her family.
At red lights, I see little kids pointing to the doggy bars.
But on the inside, things are even better because her passengers have 4 legs instead of 2.
This is purely transportation.
Good boy.
I do not put people on my bus. She's gonna. It is simply for the pets. I do take cats as well, as long as they're in a carrier.
We could go for a ride. Leslie just launched the doggy bus. It's basically Uber, but only for animals.
Everybody has a really busy schedule, and so I thought that would be really cool to be able to pick them up, take them to their destination, and return them home later.
Using a QR code and a scheduling app, people can reserve rides for their pets.
You would load up your information, the pet's information, the date, time, where do you want to go. I approve the ride, and I show up at your door.
Then, for a reasonable fee, she safely transports them around Rhode Island and into Massachusetts if need be.
Every dog gets their own seat, their own harness, their own restraint. There are no crates. I want the dogs to be comfortable as if they're going for a ride with mom and dad.
12 dogs can be seated at a time.
Good girl.
Though things can get noisy, Leslie says she enjoys every minute.
I love the idea that every day I get up and I get to play with dogs and take them to different appointments.
With a background in higher education, she saw a ride-share solution to a possible pet problem.
You might have a late meeting, you might be a single mom and not be able to get that dog to that appointment on time, and even the elderly, right, disabled.
Having the support of local groomers like All for Paws has made a meaningful impact.
It's been a fantastic reaction. People are very interested in it and really want to know more about it.
We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Brady Huneycutt.
And I'm Ella Grace Simmons. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.